This is the brief on Lionel Messi's future with the Argentina national team. Following that heartbreaking 1-0 loss to Spain in the 2026 World Cup final, retirement rumors for the captain are everywhere. But Argentina is actually crafting an emotional farewell plan to ensure his legacy endures. First, let's look at the official farewell plan. Even after a devastating defeat, don't expect Messi to quietly hang up his boots. The Federation is organizing a massive home-soil tribute match to give him a proper hero send-off. It's kind of like an orchestrated farewell tour for a rock legend wanting one last dance with his hometown crowd. Second, we've got to talk about the profound emotional impact on the fans. The tournament's end was completely gutting, leaving Messi in tears and saying the pain will take time to heal. Yet fans reacted with immense pride. It really begs the question, how long will it take for this wound to heal for a nation whose identity is so intertwined with one player? Finally, let's dive into his lasting legacy. After delivering the 2022 World Cup, back-to-back Copa Americas, and 20 World Cup goals, experts think Messi's going to step into an advisory role. He's tipped to become a master Yoda figure, mentoring rising stars like young Nico Paz. But consider this, when your play style demands the ball at your feet, can an older Yoda genuinely mentor young Jedi without accidentally stifling their tactical growth? Messi's days of carrying Argentina on the pitch might be drawing to a close, but his influence over the nation's footballing soul is absolutely here to stay.
Imagine standing in a stadium where the confetti's falling, but it's entirely the wrong color. The deafening roar of the crowd is for someone else, and you're watching the greatest player in history just weeping on the pitch. Welcome to our deep dive into the source material today. I'm your host, and I'm here with our resident expert.
Hey there. Yeah, that 1-0 loss to Spain in the 2026 World Cup final was, it was incredibly jarring. We are so conditioned to see Lionel Messi hoisting trophies, not holding his head in his hands.
It really was. So today we are cutting through all that post-match noise, looking at a massive stack of sports reports and insider scoops. Our mission for you, the listener, is to decode these conflicting retirement rumors.
Right, and specifically looking into his fascinating new role as a mentor for the next generation of Argentine talent.
Exactly. So, okay, let's unpack this. The immediate aftermath was just, pure chaos.
Oh, absolutely. Beyond the tears on the pitch, you had Messi putting out that highly emotional message on social media.
Right, the one saying, the pain is immense and it will take time for the wound to heal.
Yeah, that one. And then almost instantly, an Argentine journalist leaked that Messi stood in the locker room right after the whistle and basically told his teammates it was his final game.
Which would abruptly cap off, an international career of 125 goals and 2 Copa America titles.
Right.
See, I just can't buy that locker room rumor as gospel. It's like saying you're quitting your job on the worst day ever.
No.
Emotions run high, but
it's not official until you hand in the paperwork, right?
Skepticism is definitely warranted there.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that post-match emotional blur doesn't match the actual logistical timeline emerging from the Federation behind the scenes.
Yeah, because look at the hard facts we have. Messi just extended his Inter Miami contract through the 2028 MLS season.
Which is key.
Yeah. And while he explicitly ruled out the 2030 World Cup, since he'd be 43 by then, local media is outlining this calculated runway to the 2028 Copa America.
Right. And what's fascinating here is that the Federation is actively engineering a gradual transition. They want to prevent a massive leadership vacuum for Coach Scaloni. They're even planning a grand home field tribute match in the coming months to kick this off.
Exactly. Scaloni really needs that time to adjust the squad's dynamic.
But wait, doesn't a drawn-out farewell tour risk turning the national team into a total circus right when Scaloni needs to focus on a rebuild?
Well, it could, yeah, but only if Messi were still demanding the offense run entirely through him.
I see.
But the reporting indicates a massive shift in his daily responsibilities. He's transitioning from being the focal point of the attack to serving as the ultimate teacher for the squad.
Oh yeah, Tim Vickery's recent report actually framed this perfectly. He called Messi a master Yoda figure for Argentina.
I love that comparison.
Me too. And his primary pupil, his Luke Skywalker, is 21-year-old Nico Paz.
Right, who is widely viewed as the heir to Messi's creative throne. But, integrating him hasn't exactly been seamless.
Yeah, and here's where it gets really interesting. Paz only saw 71 minutes on the pitch this entire World Cup.
Which seems crazy on the surface.
Totally. But if you look at their profiles, they both demand the ball at their feet in those exact same central areas. It's like hiring two elite conductors for the same orchestra.
They end up fighting over the baton.
Exactly. While the string section just sits there waiting for a cue.
That is a great way to put it. In the modern game, playing two traditional number 10s is just a tactical liability. They both want to operate in the half spaces.
And neither provides the defensive work rate needed to press high.
Right. You just end up completely overrun in the midfield.
So if they can't effectively share the pitch without compromising the defense, does keeping an aging legend around actually stifle Paz's growth? Or does the daily mentorship outweigh the lack of pitch time?
Well, it's all about what happens off the field. The mentorship mechanism isn't about passing the ball back and forth during a match.
It's in the film room then.
Exactly. It's during closed training sessions. That's where Messi can break down how to manipulate a low block or how to handle the sheer psychological weight of carrying a football-obsessed nation on your shoulders.
So he's essentially teaching Paz how to keep their highly specific creative style of football alive as the sport moves toward pure athleticism.
Precisely. If you look at how Scaloni is managing this, it's a masterclass in succession planning for you, the listener, to observe. True leaders don't just leave a void. They actively groom their replacements in the shadows.
We're watching the evolution of a purely dominant force morphing into a foundational mentor.
Prioritizing Argentina's future over his own immediate stats, yeah. It's a profound shift in his sporting identity.
Which brings up one last striking image from the final whistle. Do you remember who first went over to comfort a defeated Messi on the pitch?
It wasn't an Argentine player.
No, it was Spain's 19-year-old prodigy, Lamine Yamal.
The face of the new generation consoling the defining player of the last 2 decades.
Exactly. And if Messi is sticking around just to be Yoda for Argentina's Nico Paz, it makes you wonder, how will this new era of hyper-young global superstars like Yamal reshape the game before the veterans even have a chance to leave? Something for you to ponder as the confetti finally gets swept away.
This is The Brief on Lionel Messi's future with Argentina. So following Argentina's heartbreaking 1-0 defeat to Spain in the 2026 World Cup final, literally the biggest question in sports right now is whether the 39-year-old legend is finally retiring. You know, the physical demands are definitely catching up, but hey, his 8 tournament goals prove his absolute magic hasn't faded one bit. First, there's no official retirement just yet. Despite the emotional loss, his post-match message focused purely on team pride, with zero mention of calling it quits. Plus, his Inter-Miami contract extension keeps him playing professionally through 2028. I mean, does a guy who just broke the all-time World Cup scoring record with 20 career goals really look ready to just walk away in silence? Second, a grand farewell is absolutely in the works. Reports show the Argentine Federation is secretly plotting a massive home field tribute match. They want to give their captain a proper hero send-off in Argentina rather than letting his international career end on a bitter loss in New Jersey. Think of it like a legendary rock band's final victory lap. It takes real planning and celebration, not just a sudden drop of the curtain. Finally, we're entering the Master Yoda phase. Experts predict Messi will stick around through the 2028 Copa America as a technical mentor, really guiding the next generation, specifically 21-year-old rising star Nico Paz. But seriously, how does a team adapt when its absolute center of gravity steps into the shadows to train the squad's new Luke Skywalker? While Messi's days of literally carrying Argentina on the pitch are winding down, his era of guiding their future is truly just beginning.